In today's video, we will be discussing an important topic that I know many of you are interested in. Now, money is something that people love, but as much as possible, avoid discussing publicly because of the notion that it is disrespectful to talk to someone about the financial aspects of their lives. But now that society is more open to delicate topics, I think it's time to be available to discuss all money. Before anything else, let's assess ourselves first. Where do we belong in the set of individuals living within the society? Do we belong to those trying their best to increase their riches? Or do we belong to those losing money every day? If you identify yourself as the latter individual, keep watching, because today's topic will be the top 10 ways to avoid losing money. The reality is that maintaining money is much more complicated than making it. It's not uncommon to see people who gain a fortune through lottery winnings or other windfalls lose it all quickly. Despite earning over $300 million in his booming career, Mike Tyson declared bankruptcy in 2003 and reported over $20 million in debt. Money mistakes can affect your finances no matter how much money you make. So let's start indulging in the 10 errors in dealing with moments that you must avoid. In this way, we can help protect and preserve what is ours. First, stop spending money on drugs or cigarettes. While doing a few medications in college may have seemed harmless at the time, but the truth is that continued usage may be harmful to both your health and your budget. When you look at how much drug and cigarette users spend in a week or a year, it's clear that many of them are hindering their capacity to achieve financial independence. For example, a pack of cigarettes costs $9, while an 8-pack costs $8. Many smokers consume a pack of cigarettes every day. This works out to $63 to $56 per week, or $3,356.12 per year. The very same sum of cash that may pay for your home's property taxes or a 2-week vacation. Unfortunately, to many drugs and alcohol abusers, curiosity and peer pressure lead to the adoption of this behavior. In the long run, this practice takes a toll on both your health and your wealth. So try to avoid spending on these goods as much as possible. The second is spending more than you earn. It's tempting as a young adult to squander your money right out of college when you're making a steady paycheck for the first time in your life. Buying that new car, moving into a new home via vehicle, and flying first class. They're all enticing. But the trouble is that you end up doing them all, and end up in a situation where you're stuck living paycheck to paycheck. If your salary is insufficient to cover these expenses, you may experience lifestyle inflation. As your earnings rise, your expenditures rise as well. An increase in wages should not prompt you to increase your living expenses. Sadly, most individuals, on the other hand, have this innate belief that they should reward themselves. Alternatively, this cash inflow should be directed toward preserving your wealth through investments and asset acquisition once they are paid. The most common reason that people spend beyond their means is to impress others. They spend because their self-esteem is low, and without these material goods, they feel inferior compared to others. Moreover, as Dave Ramsey points out, we buy a lot of things we don't need. We don't have to show off to people who don't even matter in our lives. Many of us are guilty, but once you learn to defer pleasure and let go of the desire to impress others, you will be much happier and even capable of financial development. Another source of expenditure is the social world, where people love to appear wealthy without actually being rich. For example, an internet tycoon who was told he would never make it large would buy a flashy car when he makes his first significant sale, just to prove his detractors wrong once more. Having fallen into the pitfall of trying to please others could lead to a never-ending staircase of bad life positions. There will always be another to compete with or to show off to. The next thing you know, you're already buying a $2,000 gadget when your monthly salary is only $3,000. So, stop this mindset and be wise. Prepare a budget and record your spending so that you don't need to splurge on things you don't really need and spend money more than you earn. The third is not investing correctly. Investing may be difficult, and many individuals put their money into things based on recommendations from friends or a strong belief that the prices of a popular stock will continue to rise. Real estate is one form of asset that almost everyone appears to be interested in. Many people believe that they will be financially secure if they purchase an investment property. They think that rent payments will begin to arrive every month and that their income will expand dramatically. This isn't always the case. Tenants may default on payments, the equipment may malfunction, or the value of your home may drop, as with any investment. The key to making your assets produce a consistent stream of income for the intelligent investor is to gain all the necessary knowledge about a market or product before investing your hard-earned money in it. To summarize this journey, make sure to perform adequate background research on everything you want to go into, not just because your friends are making money from it, or because a salesperson told you about the fantastic benefits it has to offer. Number 4 on the list is believing in get-rich-quick schemes. These schemes are one of the most common ways to lose money. As the phrase goes, quick money, quick problems. And adopting a money plan is almost always a recipe for disaster. Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, and make money overnight offers are examples of getting rich quick systems designed to make the scheme creator wealthy by taking your hard-earned money. If you're considering new business initiatives and come across prospects that promise significant profits with low risk, proceed with care. Consider this: if it takes 20 years to earn $200,000 in a job, and a new enterprise claims that you can achieve that much in a year, wouldn't everyone do it? In short, when it comes to getting money fast, always use your sound judgment before entering an agreement that can make you lose your money before even having the chance to increase it. The 5th mistake that we should avoid is not having an emergency fund. Let's admit it, life doesn't always go our way. And there are times where you really need money to get out of a jam. For example, your car could break down, you could lose your job, or your washer could malfunction. Unfortunately, almost everything in life costs money, so failing to set aside an emergency fund is a costly financial mistake. Unfortunately, according to a 2019 Federal Reserve study, nearly 40% of American adults would be unable to handle a $400 emergency with cash reserves or a short-term credit card charge. About 27% of those polled said they would have to borrow money or sell something to cover the $400, while another 12% said they wouldn't be able to cover it at all. Fortunately, all you have to do is ask your employer to set up a 10% automatic deduction from your pay, putting a portion of your paycheck into an emergency savings account. But how do you tell when you've accumulated sufficient funds? Most financial experts advise saving 6 months' worth of living expenses. But if you want to be really cautious, a year's worth is a beautiful goal. The 6th mistake you can make is relying only on one source of income. Having a sole source of income is a way of life for most people, and this income is usually in the form of a paycheck. Unfortunately, career opportunities are scarce. As safe as people think they are, in reality, over 21 million workers were laid off by US firms in 2018. Meaning that if your employment was your only source of income, your cash flow came to a halt. Imagine yourself like a tree that bears fruit from only one branch when it comes to income sources. No, they have diverse components that produce blossoms and fruits, and you should too. You should continue evolving and learning new ways to make your money work for you. This is not only prudent but also a secure method of assisting you in sleeping at night. 7th on the list is the extensive use of credit cards. Credit cards might be a convenient way to make purchases for some people. Still, they can also be a one-way trip to financial death for others. Even though using credit cards heavily for various commercial purposes might even lead to economic catastrophe, credit card use encourages spontaneous purchases by instilling in you the belief that you can acquire everything with just a simple swipe of your magic card. In fact, according to a 2001 MIT research, people who paid with a credit card instead of cash spent up to 100% more. If you spend too much on credit, make it a practice to pay with cash. When you pay with cash, you're practically giving over your money, and seeing the money disappear from your pocket makes you feel the economic effect of a purchase far more strongly than when you pay with credit. Fear of taking financial risks is mistake number 8. No risk, no reward. As the saying goes, and to gain money, you must take risks. However, you must weigh the risks you take. Investing in an index fund, for example, has a higher risk than keeping your money in a savings account, but your money will never grow yielding the expected 0.09% interest rate on a savings account. For example, investing in an index fund, which tracks the entire stock market's moves, has historically provided yearly returns of 7%, which is a calculated risk that I believe is worthwhile. Mistake number 9 is choosing to save instead of invest. Money kept in a bank loses value over time due to inflation. Money, on the other hand, expands when it is wisely invested. It's that simple. I indicated in error number 8 that being afraid to take financial risks is a problem. Ones who are so scared to take risks are the same people who will save all of their money and leave it on the road. Only save enough money in your savings account to cover your living needs and a cash emergency fund. To summarize, you must save to invest rather than save for saving. Money saved without a strategy will be squandered on unimportant items. When you leave money in your bank account, you may be tempted to spend it on material things, such as a new car, new clothes, or entertainment. Instead, put your money to work for you by putting it in stocks, real estate, REITs, or startups. These options provide a chance to generate fresh streams of income that is far more financially lucrative than letting your money depreciate in the bank. The last mistake that you should avoid is to only have one bank account. For several reasons, having only one bank account is problematic. First, having just one bank account will make managing your money extremely tough. You'll have to put all of your emergency bills and college funds in one place, and if you splurge, you'll be out of luck. You risk not having emergency cash or tuition money when you need it, just because of that one impulsive shopping spree. This is why you should have 3 bank accounts, at the very least. One account should be used for emergency funds in case something goes wrong, another for day-to-day bills, and a third account, which I refer to as a play account. Your play account is the amount of money you set aside for fun or vacation, and if you want to even go farther, set up an untouchable account, which may be used as a savings account. Monthly paycheck deductions are routed, allowing you to automate your savings procedure and develop your wealth over time. And those are the top 10 money mistakes that you have to avoid to achieve that financial freedom you'd been hoping for. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to this channel to be updated on more good videos like this one. See you around!